So I'm going to go over exactly how I overcame imposter syndrome. And to be honest, I could just do it in one word, and that is repetition. That's it. End of the video. All right. If you want to learn a little bit more, watch on. I'm going to give you an exact example, like what I did in my life, right? And you will see throughout this story that you can just do the exact same thing and you will get there. It requires a little bit of work, repetition of the work, but it's not impossible. So I was absolutely terrible, shocking, cringe with women in general, like for most of my like pre 25-year-old life, right? Shocking, horrible. Any hookup I got was an accident. It was like I didn't know what I did. I did something. Maybe I was drunk. I didn't even know, and like I said something, and it worked. It was shocking. Maybe even 23. Maybe between 23, 25. Yeah, it was horrible. It was shocking. It was very, very bad. How I overcame imposter syndrome on that, I always felt like because I've got this track record of being so shit with women, like I'm just not destined. It's like maybe I should take a vow of celibacy. Maybe I should just like and don't get me wrong, like I wanted to be with women, but like I just didn't know what to do or how to do anything. And so I mentally convinced myself like maybe I'm just gonna become celibate. Like that's something I did because I didn't know how to get the result I actually wanted, which was hook up with women, right? So I just thought that that was the path I was going to go down because like where I was mentally is I wasn't getting any results. If I did, it was an accident. If I did, I didn't know what I did to get that result. I couldn't replicate it, right? And then I like started learning about game, and then I started learning about personal development. I was like, okay, started building confidence in myself. Okay, cool. And then just going through the repetition, going through the process, I became better and better and better, right? And it's just like that is just the answer to how to overcome imposter syndrome. You just keep doing shit until like so you're an amateur to begin with or you're a novice to begin with, then you become an amateur, then you become like proficient at what you're doing, you become competent, then you become fairly good, then you become really good. And that's just the path. Like there's no shortcuts, there's no if ands or buts about it. You just have to go through the work, you just have to do the work. um Literally, literally, that's just it. I know this is like such an anti-climax. Just like you're looking for that pill that can kind of just like, yeah, okay, don't have any imposter syndrome anymore. There is none. There is none. You just have to go through the work, the hurdles. You have to put in the time to not become an imposter anymore. If you're an imposter, I mean, if you feel like that, especially in the beginning, you should feel like that because you probably are an imposter, right? The only way you become not an imposter is by continuously learning how to not become an imposter, to become better at the skill you're trying to master. And then all of a sudden, you're great at it and you don't have to you don't have to like be an imposter anymore because you're just genuinely better. And then you just kind of live live through that betterment and then you become the person you want to become. That's it. There's no like crazy secret about it. So with the women thing, learn game, went out loads, got rejected a ton. Honestly, thousands of people, of women rejected me. Um, Also, I should add, got thousands of numbers. And after that point, still, even though I had these girls' numbers, vast majority rejected me. And then you work out what works in terms of like what you say to get a number. Then you work out what to say on text or via call to get on a date, and then on a date to get to the next date, or like intimacy, or like 3 dates in, or then turning someone into your girlfriend. Like it's just all comes down to repetition, just constantly going through the process of, and the iterations of getting better to not become an imposter anymore and become actually proficient in whatever you're trying, like skill you're trying to master. So in that realm, great. When I was, let's just park that now, but let's just go to more of a business setting. I used to do presentations when I was in like network marketing and other like business endeavors where I need to present the idea that I'm kind of like want people to check out and share. Initially, yeah, you feel like you shouldn't be here, because like when you're speaking to people, they don't know you from anyone, and you feel like, um, I don't deserve to be here talking to these people. But the more and more times you do it, you get better at saying what you're saying. You become better at convincing other people. You become better with sales, marketing, your general ability to lead, your ability to influence another person, to make a buying decision. Next thing you know, you've done this presentation 50, 60, 70, 100 times, 200 times, and all of a sudden, these results will come flying in. Whereas in the beginning, that never happened, but you're just going through the numbers. Now, this process is not glamorous. It is not attractive. It is not like, not everyone's going to do this to overcome imposter syndrome, because it requires work. It requires time. And when I say time, it can require like not even weeks. It's more like months to years type of thing. But if you are willing to go through those numbers and just literally repeat whatever it is you want to get better at for a period of time, there will become a day when you are not an imposter anymore, like genuinely not an imposter anymore, and you feel so comfortable in your skin in this new role that you just execute, and that is your new identity. Like, you may have heard of this thing called the 4 stages of learning, which is unconscious incompetence, which is you don't know that you are bad at something, like the skill you're trying to get better at. Then it comes to conscious incompetence, means you know you need to get better at this skill. The skill it's on your radar now. The next one is conscious competence, which is like it requires your mental ability to focus to get this thing right. So you are executing the skill, but it's requiring all of your mental capacity to get it right. And then you have unconscious competence, which is you don't have to do this like focusing on it anymore. You just become good at it. Just think about like driving, right? You're an imposter when you're a beginner because you're like, oh, I'm not a real driver. Let's say you just passed, and like people, you don't have your P plates on, you don't have your just passed plates on, and you're just like on the road. When you see people like looking at you at the lights and stuff like that, you feel like you're an imposter because you are literally fresh on the road. But the more time you're on the road, the more time you become closer to unconscious competence, where you're just like driving, and then all of a sudden you're at your destination and you've forgotten the whole drive because you're just like so good at what you like at this skill of driving that you just like become at your destination and you've just forgotten the journey because it was such a breeze and you've just been thinking about something else the entire time. That is similar to how to overcome imposter syndrome, because you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. You get better and better and better. Next thing you know, you're doing it in your sleep. All right, I'll see you in the next video.